Why, hello there, it's Miss McFlanagan, your old buddy, your old pal, your old chum, and we're playing some Black Ops 4 today. And today I want to talk a little bit about Black Ops 4. I want to talk a little bit about what I've been up to, just for you guys that still watch. I know there's not that many of you, but hey, I understand. The YouTube scene has kind of died off. But, I just want to say this about Black Ops 4. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's actually a pretty fun game. I just don't think it's that interesting. I feel like they've took out a lot of the fun things out of COD that I used to love, and we're left with kind of a hollow shell that's just not that interesting. Like, there's just not that many layers to the gameplay. There's not that many fun and interesting things to do within the game. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. I just feel like this is a less superior game to games they've already made, and I think that's the whole problem with Activision and Call of Duty, and just the whole gaming industry right now. I mean, look at EA. EA used to be a company that made fantastic games, whether it was single player, multiplayer. They made a lot of fantastic games over the years. Dead Space, the Battlefield series used to be great all the way up until Battlefield 1, in my opinion. It's just all these big giants of the gaming industry are just dying to the fact that they just keep making games that are good, but not as good as the one before it, or not as good as what they've done in the past. And I think they're finally starting to pay for it. Like, for instance, Activision just laid off 800 people. These gaming companies are not in it to make a great game anymore. They're not in it to please their fans and make everybody happy. They're in it to make money, They're just like McDonald's or the company I work for. I work at an auto parts store called O'Reilly's. They're all out for the money, It's all about sell, sell, sell. They don't care about you or your experience or their employees. If you're not making that bottom line, if you're not making them money, no one cares. You could have a great game that nobody buys, and a company's going to say that game was trash. Or you can have a game that's super popular that everybody buys. They could be a pile of crap. As long as it makes them money, they don't care. It's about the bottom line. And I think that's the whole problem with Black Ops 4, is it's an okay game, it's fun. I just feel like it's not that interesting. If you go back and look at what Treyarch's done in the past, for instance, like Black Ops 2, there was so many different ways to play that game. For instance, a lot of my friends back in the day, we used to just take riot shields and camp in Search and Destroy when we were bored, and we would play with riot shields, shock charges, and tomahawks. And that was one of the most fun things I've ever done in video games, was just camping with my buddies, laughing, killing people with tomahawks, hiding behind riot shields. That's just an example of, the variety of how you could play the game. And I just feel like that thought and, putting everything in the kitchen sink into a video game is something that companies just aren't doing anymore. All those things are locked behind paywalls. They're locked behind DLC and bonus content. And it's just sad. It's just sad because Black Ops 4, like I said, it's an okay game. But honestly, I can't say it's better than, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 I thought was more fun. It's just that. It just seems like it's just mediocre. And I feel like mediocrity is taking over video games, It's like, for instance, I've been playing this Apex Legends, and it's a pretty fun game, and I think it would be a lot of fun if you play with friends. But I've just been playing with randoms, and once you win a couple games, it's like, what do I do now? Like, I've won a couple games, this is just becoming boring because there's not really a whole different... I don't know, there's no other modes to the game. Like, if I could go and play the Battle Royale for a while and get bored of that and then switch over to, let's say, like a multiplayer, I probably could make that game last a lot longer and I would play it a lot more, but there's just not that much to the game. I get bored fast, You go back and look at a game like Black Ops 2, you had Ground War, which they've completely took out of Black Ops 4, and I was a Ground War player. If you go back and watch my old gameplays, most of the gameplayers were in Ground War. I functioned better with a lot of people and a lot of chaos. I love that. I hate playing this competitive 5v5 mode. It just feels, I don't know, it feels small, and people take so long to kill. It's just there's not much variety to this game is the point I'm trying to get across. Black Ops 2, if you wanted to run around with a KSG and go for kill feeds or whatever, you could do that. And it was a weapon that was hard to use and skilled, but was very rewarding when you hit a 4-piece. Or if you wanted to run around with a Remington shotgun and throw C4s, you could play in that play style. If you wanted to, be an LMG target finder guy, you could do that. I mean, there was just so much variety. You could throw smokes and use a thermal, and you could counter snipers by using the smoke against them. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of variety, and I just feel like these companies, the more they lose interest in what they're actually doing, the games just keep suffering. It's like they're all on autopilot. Nobody's actually has their heart in these video games. They're just big cash grabs. There wouldn't be a Black Ops 4 if it wasn't for the fact that people thought it would make a lot of money, which it did. And until that mentality changes in the gaming world, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of games that, you play for 2 or 3 years, and after those 2 or 3 years are over, you're still talking about how great that game was, because I just don't see it happening, because the gaming industry is just one big corporation, and it's sad. But towards the end of the video, I want to talk about what I've been up to. I've actually been buying retro game stuff, which sounds stupid, but I bought an original Xbox and a bunch of games that I never got to play back in the day, and that's kind of what I've been doing, is going back and playing games that I never got to play, like single-player games, stuff like that. I've been collecting Wii games, as odd as it sounds. There's a lot of good Wii games that I never got to play, and the graphics don't bother me because those games are actually fantastic. Graphics aren't everything. Everybody thinks graphics make a game. It's not true. As long as you can play it and understand what's going on the screen, you're probably fine. And I used to be kind of a graphics snob, but I'm not anymore. But that's basically what I've been doing. I've been kind of collecting stuff. I got engaged. I proposed to my girlfriend at Christmas, and she said yes, so that's fantastic. I love her to death, and without her, I don't think I'd be as happy as I am right now, because I used to gauge my happiness off of, how well I was doing in video games, or if I got a really good gameplay, I was happy about that and being able to show people. Now I'm just happy, living life, Me and my girlfriend go out to eat, and I have a better time just talking with her and enjoying that than I ever did sitting at home, playing video games, worrying if I was any good at the game, or stressing out if I couldn't get gameplays. So I'm just in a really good place right now. I hop on and I do bad at Call of Duty. I just get off. I don't beat myself up about it. But hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. It's my day off, so I figured I would rant. But I can't even tell you what the score was on this gameplay. It was like 70-some kills and like 20 deaths. It was a sweaty match. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and you have a great day.